Can Team Obama spin to win on Syria? Can the IRS sound any more Orwellian? Can the employment picture get any worse? And can PETA get any more ridiculous? So many questions, so little time. On this edition of Liberty News TV, I'm Norval Rose. Yes, Team Obama appears to be fumbling the ball on Syria. Yes, the president's meager international coalition of willing allies has come apart, with the UK now firmly against military intervention. Yes, many of Obama's own military commanders are advising strongly against going it alone. And Obama's past statements condemning unilateral military action in the Middle East are now coming back to haunt him. Hypocrisy with a capital H. Yes, even leading liberal voices in the Democrat Party are now opposing a military strike against the Assad regime. Yes, a growing congressional chorus, a bipartisan chorus, is now demanding that President Obama consult with and meaningfully involve the Congress in any decision to commit U.S. forces. Yes, this all seems to paint a pretty dismal picture of dismay, disarray, even disaster, political disaster for President Obama and his fumbled foreign policy. But could Obama's clever handlers and inventive strategists spin a win for the president, even as that fumbled foreign policy ball bounces around unpredictably? Well, maybe. Consider this pick up the ball and run with it rationale from the commander-in-chief. The red line was drawn. We said we'd take action if chemical weapons were used in Syria. We did take action. We moved substantial military assets within striking distance of Damascus. We identified potential targets for American missiles. We let Assad know we meant business if he continued misbehaving. We used America's military might as it should be used, as a show of force, as a fearsome deterrent. We stopped chemical attacks without firing a shot. We saved lives. We win the argument. Would that work for President Obama? Would he be able to recover the ball and take it in for a touchdown? Or will he instead pull the trigger and fire a few token missiles into Syria, thus running the very serious risk of retaliation, of recrimination by world leaders, and condemnation by members of his own party? We shall see, and very likely in short order. George Orwell, the creepy novel 1984, the fictional language newspeak used by the book's totalitarian regime to shape thought and control behavior. Okay, with that in mind, consider the final rules on Obamacare's individual mandate just issued by the IRS. The tax agency uses the term shared responsibility payment more than 50 times to describe the mandate's noncompliance penalty. Shared responsibility payment, not tax, not forfeiture, not penalty, but shared responsibility payment. Now, if that doesn't sound like Orwellian newspeak with a definite Ayn Rand twist, forget all that twisty, cheerful talk you hear from delirious Democrats and starry-eyed stock market gurus about how Obama's economic policies are bringing America back. Because the ugly truth pierces that gauzy veil of propaganda. The ugly truth and statistics like teen employment hitting record lows, like the labor force participation rate plunging to a 34-year low, and the high number of workers on disability. All this as we celebrate Labor Day. And saving the best for last, among the civil rights activists attending the MLK 50th celebration and rally in D.C. were representatives of PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Apparently, the group was invited to participate because PETA has a dream that equal rights extend not just to all people, but to all living things. Dr. King would no doubt be so proud that his struggle now means freedom at last for all God's creatures. And that is Liberty News TV for today. Enjoy your holiday weekend, and we'll see you right back here next time.